Okay, welcome everyone. So I am Shannon J, and I am a diamond leader with our company. And Crystal and I are going to be doing a Zoom for you tonight about how to keep your business organized and running smoothly. Because I'm sure, as a lot of us have experienced being in here, some of us only for a week, some of us for as long as Jess there, who has been what, 5 years? 5 years now, Jess? 6? Where are we at? 7? Something like that. Anyways, but we know that it is so important to stay on top of it because there is no set schedule, right? And if you're not organized with your time, the business can constantly be pushed to the back burner. And obviously, as well, we want to be as efficient with our time as possible because time is valuable. We want to make sure that we are focused everywhere in our life. So the very first thing that I like to do that I've learned very, very recently, and you can do this on Apple and Android, is you can basically turn off your notifications. This has been like a game changer for me because I hate notifications and they're so distracting. It's almost like squirrel, like, oh my gosh, message. Oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. So if you, let me see if I can share my screen and do this. Let's see. Might be able to. So I have an Apple. So if you guys have Android, it's going to look a little bit different. But if you scroll down from the top, if I click this focus thing and I click work, I think there's different settings that you can go to. You can create new focus. You can do sleep, literally just a do not disturb. And then no notifications will show on my screen while I am working. So this is fantastic when I am going through and sending HAP messages, because it doesn't matter if people reply to me. I'm not going to see any of the replies, and I can just focus on sending all those messages in a row. The same as like answering comments on HAPs. I can just go through. The other thing that's really nice is if I do have a really full inbox. So like yesterday I was sick with a migraine. So this morning when I woke up, my inbox had like 30 messages. So obviously as I'm replying to people getting back to them from yesterday, I'm like message coming back in. So I literally had to turn on the focus so I could start from the oldest message and just work my way through them all. So again, being efficient, not getting distracted by the new notifications coming in. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is prepping your week. So we are just going to give you all kinds of ideas. And definitely organization is going to be what's going to work best for you. You kind of have to do a little bit of trial and error. I might organize things differently than Crystal does, and different than Jess does, and different than Dana does. And that's okay because we're all different people and our brains and our personalities all work different. So we're going to give you a whole bunch of recommendations and you can kind of find what works best for you. So, because I can tell you, I can speak about prepping your week, but I do not prep my week. I don't, but I can tell you how. I don't really feel like it's timing for me. Literally every single day is wild. Okay. My kids are really little. Finley's almost 4 and Paisley is not even a year and a half yet. So it doesn't really matter the day of the week. It is always nuts. But if you have a day of the week that's a little bit quieter, maybe it's your day off. It doesn't matter what day it is. It could be a Wednesday, it could be a Sunday, it could be a Monday. You're just going to sit down and plan out your week. Plan what post you're going to do every day. You can write it down in a notebook. You can write it down in your notes on your phone, anywhere like that. I know that there are also some apps. Jillian was telling me about that you can schedule your posts as well. So that's a great resource. And so what are you posting that day? What story are you going to put up that day? What message are you going to send perhaps that day? Because it's great to always be changing it up. And then you have a week's worth of content ready to go. So if you have a really busy day and you're up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but you've prepped your week, guess what? You wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and for 5 minutes, you put up your post and you put up your story. Those 2 tasks are done. And then you can literally just be in your messenger for the rest of the day. So that's going to prep your week really well. Sometimes too, it's great if you know what else is happening. So really great is time blocking. Again, I like kind of time block when it's specific things that are happening. But if you have a very, very busy set schedule where you're like, this happens this, this happens then, and then this happens. It's great if you can write it all down. So I'm going to show you guys kind of my calendar, and like, I'll say like I like half time block, like I write down important business things. If we have like a Zoom, or if I have an appointment for something. So I'll just show you today. So again, this is just like that calendar in my phone. I'm sure you could download a calendar app, but I really like this. And you can see that these things are blocked off. So like we had a diamond call today. I had a physio appointment today. We're currently in a Zoom. Then I have a coaching call after. You can literally time block your whole day. You can put like 8 to 2, you are at work. From 2 to 3, you are doing something else, right? From 4 to 5, you are working your business. So you want to make sure that you are scheduling everything in. If your day is that busy and you need to stick to it, that's the other thing, right? You can't say, oh, that hour got pushed aside and I had to do something else. Well, then you have to reschedule that hour, because your business cannot be the thing that keeps getting put on the back burner, because then you won't have any benefit from this. This needs to be a top priority for you to fit in there. And it's 1 to 2 hours a day, guys. Obviously, doing more hours, more work, you're going to go faster. So it depends on what your income goals are. I personally probably work anywhere from 4 to, well, sometimes it's like 2, but usually the average of like 4 to 6 a day, hours a day, I would say. And again, I don't have another job. I am a mom, but Finley luckily is in daycare now from Tuesdays to Fridays. Paisley usually has a good 2-hour nap in the middle of the day. So I'm working during that. I'm working after they've gone to bed, and then a little bit in between. So even if you're scheduling 10 minutes here, half an hour there, half an hour on your lunch, do some stuff. And it's great to stick to it. And then you have more focus too. You know what you're doing when. Okay, what else? So another great thing is then where to find your posts and your stories. So I'm going to give you guys a few resources here on Facebook. So if you are not in this group, this is the resource room. It is a group on Facebook. It is fantastic to find post ideas. I'm pretty sure there might even be some stories in here. So 2 options to find things. You can either go to the albums section, and there are a whole bunch of pictures of things. Some of them are American, but that's okay. There are some Canadian things in here too, right? So there's like before and after photos. There's like promotional things, stretch mark creams, right? There's all kinds of before and afters, all kinds of resources in there. The other thing that you can do is you can search. If you are looking for something specific, as you can see, look, I was looking for like peppermint mocha probably at one time. So I searched peppermint, and look, peppermint mocha comes up. Okay. So great resource there. Another one that I like to use is Story to Explode Your Business. So this one, same thing. You're just going to search. So you can even search like opportunity, and that's going to give you all kinds of opportunity stories. Okay, all kinds of different options. So there's a ton of resources to be prepping your week. I know in my group chat and a lot of the group chat, we do give posts and story ideas every day. You don't have to use them. You don't. If your week is prepped, go with your week prepping unless you see something different that you really like. And you could always post multiple times in a day as well. Okay, so another great resource, guys, is Jessica's Fresh group. If you are in there, how do I get there? Let's see. Think groups. Nope, not that one. This one. So if you are in Jessica's Fresh group, this is another fantastic resource. So she has everything in albums. Again, all kinds of stories, okay? All kinds of before and afters. There's literally story fillers, which is like all kinds of like quotes and basically that personal stuff that we're telling you to put in between the product stuff and the opportunity stuff is in there. So again, all kinds of good things. So the other great place is if you're not in the Fresh board, Jess also has it in her board. So in boards, this is the team board. Everyone should have the login for this because basically boards is making people pay. So instead we just have a team login and everyone does not have to pay for it. So go-getters is the Jess's board here. And if we go to posting 101, there's all kinds of business posts, product posts, interactive posts, giveaway posts. Go take your pick. So another place that I found some really good posts is actually in this Limitless Tribe board. If you go in this one and you go to Canada and you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a posts and photos section. And if you go to my why post, there's some fantastic opportunity and lifestyle posts in here. You can also go to the work from home posts. Again, all kinds of good stuff for you guys to use and resources. And this is where we are getting a lot of our content that we share with you in the group pages daily as well. So that is also fantastic. So the other thing, I think I already kind of touched on this, is just making sure that you're being intentional with your time. If you sit down and you find that you are just like scrolling Facebook for that 30-minute time block that you had set for yourself, that is not productive. I know some people too like to set a timer for themselves. So they'll say, okay, 5 minutes, I'm going to go add friends on Facebook. When that timer goes off, they're moving on to the next daily task. So that way you keep yourself moving and still doing things. Because trust me, time can go fast. If anyone's gone down like the TikTok or the reel rabbit hole, like all of a sudden you're watching TikToks and you're like, wait, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. How did that happen? So it's great if you could set that timer and keep yourself accountable. So that's another thing, is you can always find an accountability partner, right? If you find someone that is like, hey, this is the time that I want to do this at, fantastic. I know there's lots of power hours too. So that will be a time Jess does them. There's some other leaders that do them as well. If the timings don't work out for you, and you literally hop on Zoom together and they tell you, okay, 5 minutes, we're going to do this. Okay, 10 minutes, we're going to do this. And you kind of work through it together. Again, accountability is huge. Okay, so I think that's it for me for kind of like prepping your week, keeping things organized and on time. And I am going to turn it over to Crystal, and she is going to talk to you guys a little bit more about organizing potentials.
Hey. Are you making me host?
Yes. Yes.
Then I have to figure out how to screen share because I've never done it before on Zoom.
Oh no. It should be somewhere near the top. It's like a green button for me.
Share content? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I am on what I want to show so you guys don't see anything weird. Okay. All right. So my name is Crystal Childerhose, and I am an Emerald leader, though I haven't been able to maintain it, but I am going for Diamond soon. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about organization because obviously we talk to many people every single day, and it's so easy to lose track of like who you're talking to. And so many people like slip through the cracks and they end up signing through somebody else, or they change their mind. And it's our job to follow up with them. Because as we all know, the fortune is in the follow-up, and a lot of people don't like following up because we feel annoying, but it's our job. So the first thing first is everyone should have a planner or a type of notebook that they write everything down. Usually I just use just like a random notebook from like Dollarama, and I just write down every single potential that I talk to, and I just have like pages and pages and pages of it. And I write down like the months of when I talk to them. Some people write down like what they're interested in. I haven't got to that point yet. I don't know. I just don't do that. So I just like search their name and I see like what we talked about at that point. And then if they say that they want to order on a certain day, I'll like write down the date and the product so that I do know. But some people like to use planners. Shannon actually gifted me this amazing planner. I just started using it January 1st. So it has, I'm
pretty sure you won it.
Oh, gifted, won, whatever. Yeah. It's so awesome though. So it has like the whole month, and I have it all filled out. I also run my own cleaning business. So I have like every client that I do, and then just things that I have to do. And I have my Florida trip booked down there. Super excited for that. And then for the days, I haven't really done much this month so far. I'll be honest. But yesterday, I got 3 new potentials. So I wrote that down there. And then, yeah, basically you just want to make sure you're keeping track of every single person that has ever said they're interested in the product. Like as soon as you message them and they say that they'd like info, they're automatically a potential customer and you want to write their name down until they've blocked you or told you to basically like stop messaging them and leave them the F alone. They're going to be a potential forever. Yeah, so it's always good to keep track, especially your potential distributors as well. Like anybody you talk to, you want to write down, because then when follow-up Friday comes along, you want to take that list out and follow up with everybody. Because if you don't have the list and your leaders are like, okay, let's follow up, and you're like, I have no idea who I talked to, then, like you want to know. So the second thing is where, when, and how to keep track of your potentials, which is what I just talked about. So as soon as you talk to them, you want to write it down. When is then, and then how is on paper. I know that Shannon also, she does, since she's so busy during the day, she told me that she'll take screenshots of the conversation and then she'll save the picture in her album. And then at the end of the day, she goes to all of her saved pictures and she writes down all the potentials that way. For me personally, I just find that too complex. So I just like to take my notebook with me everywhere I go. And as soon as I talk to them, I write the name down, even if I have to write it down in my notes on my phone, just so that I'm writing it down right away, because we forget. We have so much going on. We're all busy people. We're all moms mostly. We all have like other jobs, lots of stuff going on. So you have to write them down. I don't want to stress it enough. So the next thing is keeping track of our current customers and our current DTs, obviously. So our DTs, you want to like be checking in and like, you want to know who's on your team. So obviously you want to keep track of them. Your current LCs, every time you sign a customer, it's good to write them down. So in the boards app, hold on a second. I'm going to share content. I've never done this before. Whoa. Start broadcast. Okay. So in boards, Shannon has this thing in Diamond Dreamers. Can you guys see it? What's happening? You are sharing screen. Okay. Now I think you can see it, right? Right, Shannon? Just nod if you can. Okay. So this is the tracker. So it's in Diamond Dreamers, and then you go to daily task trackers. And these are different trackers you can use. So this one is for your LC and your DT trackers. So you write down the date, you write down the name, you write down their ID number, where they're placed under. If you're new, there's nobody that they're going to be placed just under you. And then their auto ship info. So like how much their volume is worth. So every time you sign a customer, it's important to write down their name and all this stuff so that you can follow up with them, just to check in and see like how things are going with the products, to follow up before their next month's shipment to see if they like to continue or add anything or remove anything, because these are our customers and we want to make sure that they're taken care of. It took me a while to like be on top of this, but I know that people really appreciate it. So I know that it is important, because you don't want to just be like, thanks for the order, like, see you later, good luck. You want to like be like, okay, like I want to help you, like let's reach your goals together, because that's what the business is about. It's not just about the money, it's about helping people. So there is also a host to post tracker. So I'll just jump into this then. So this is a way to track your HAPs. Hold on a second. So it's just the product post, and the giveaway post. I personally, I don't write down, like I don't do a tracker like this, but I know that some people really like it. So you just write down like the names of people that posted and like the different products that they posted about. I personally, I keep track of my HAPs in Facebook. So these are all my saved haps from recently. And then you can make different collections. Oh, I have the rank up group saved. So I have January haps, December haps, November, October, September. So all of them. So I keep track of every single one different in a folder. So simple. And then once they share a post for me, I also go to my notepad, and these are my January haps. So then when we have to enter them into the giveaway, I just copy and paste. Oops, you know what I mean. Okay. Hold on a second. How the heck do I get out of here? You can tell that I am a newbie at this. Okay, I'm back. So that is how we keep track of our haps. What is happening? I just like something about screen broadcasting. Yeah, so obviously it's just very important to stay organized and to know what's going on, because thanks, Jessica. Okay, have a great dinner. It's important to keep track of what's going on, because then if people ask you like, oh, how many haps did you get up? And then you're just like, I don't know. And it's like, well, like, do you have any comments on your haps? And you're like, oh, let me go like to their Facebook and start scrolling, looking for it. Like, just know that there's so many easier ways to do things that save time and make it easier for you. So just like having the knowledge of these things is going to make so much of a difference. And yeah, I think that is about it. So does anybody have any questions or anything that anybody wants to add?
One quick thing that I'll just add is in my planner, I also keep track of people that have said that they're going to order and once they have ordered. So my method of doing that, let me see if I can find a good page with both examples on it. Let's see. But basically I put like a star that's not colored in for people that have said that they will order. Here's a good page. Okay, so you can see I have like, you just do those quick like 5-point stars. So if it's empty, that means that they said they ordered or would order, right? Like I've sent them the link or I've sent what information I need from them and they haven't. But when they do order, then I color them in. So it helps me keep track that way too, because in a sense, it's easier to go back and follow up with those people who've already said yes more often than like some people who haven't been replying. So the follow-up Fridays that I do, the very first thing that I do is go through and find all of my empty stars, because those are people who have said yes already. So they are way more likely to be ready because they were ready before. So I really like doing that. I also really like, if you guys have teammates, again, in our planners, I like to write down the dates that their 30 days are up, right? So earning your tier 2s, helping them earn their first tier 1. So I don't quite use my calendar like Crystal does. So this is what I mean. Like you guys can organize everything differently. Like my calendar is pretty empty. It's literally just the dates of the people, but I use this strictly for it works, whereas Crystal is definitely using it for her cleaning business and all kinds of different things like that. I also remembered I like to add, if someone gives me a date, I also add it in my phone calendar. So where you guys saw that time blocking, when I go in there, it's going to say order with so-and-so, order with so-and-so, because I've had people say, oh, I can order in May. Like literally, I think last week I had someone tell me May. So I go through my phone and I'm like, okay, May, let's pick a random Friday in May. And I put their name in there. So when I get to May, there they are, surprise, someone wants to order. But just so you're staying on top of that, because I definitely find I have written them in my notebook and I find they get lost. Like sometimes I don't scroll all the way back to July, but there's people that have said, oh, I want to order in December. So for myself, again, more efficient to put it in my calendar where I'm looking every single day. So guys, you guys are going to find your own organizational things that you like doing. Some will be the way Crystal do it. Some will be the way I do it. Some will be the way that you figure out is best for you. Does It Works have their own day planner? They don't. The one that Crystal and I have is like an extra fancy one. That's why I said she won it. So it's called Day Designer. And it's just nice because it's really, really big. But again, you could just use like a lined piece of paper. So my biggest reason for really liking this one is that each day is a whole page. So a lot of planners that you get, one page is like a week, and there's just not enough room to write down all of your potentials. But this is where you can also do like a notebook, like Crystal was saying, she has a notebook from Dollarama. So if you just wrote the date at the top of your page, it's kind of the same thing. We probably will do more giveaways for the planners. But yeah, so other options, planners, notebook, whatever you want to use to track will definitely work.
I also, I know that there was the Gold Digger girl on Instagram. Is she still active?
No.
Yeah, I was just like, where did
No.
she go? I loved her stories. Like every single day
She's
I
gone.
went to her page and took her story. But anyway,
She's gone,
she
but
sold
that's
like
okay.
like these planners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I started using it, and then I had a house fire, so that I like totally forgot about it. So I wrote in it for a few pages, but it has like everything laid out. So it has like the host to post, like yeah. I don't know if
You
you
know
can
what you
still buy
could
these
do is you
anymore.
could like scan those.
Yeah,
something.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
Because it has
that'd be really cool.
so it's like every single week.
Yeah,
And then it has,
I had
like,
one at
the
one point,
steps
and I
to
don't think I even
success, like-
opened it, but somewhere in my
What?
move stuff. It's somewhere in my move stuff. So I might come across it whenever we move into our house in the next, like, hopefully 6 months. So we'll see. Yeah, no, if you could scan those, Crystal, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, well, some of them are written in like at the beginning, and
Yeah.
actually, like it's like the old ones. It's like 180 BV. Like,
Yeah, but we can edit those. We can
Yeah.
edit those.
I miss that.
I know, right? But that's okay,
And
because
then-
now customers are worth more volume. So
Exactly, right? We get paid more. And then I
Yes.
also have this, which I never wrote in. Like I buy all these like planners and I'm like, I'm so excited. And then I use it for like a day and then I'm like, this sucks. I don't like it. I'm like, I just like my basic notebook.
that's so funny.
Yeah,
Oh my
but it has like your order tracker.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Fantastic.
you can always look online. This is called a business planner for direct
Yeah.
sales.
Yeah. And then I know too, I was talking to Jillian, and she is using Excel. So if you guys are like really good at computers and Excel and stuff, she has a whole spreadsheet for her like follow up. So she has like all her customers or potential customers in there, and like when she followed up with them last, and like when she's going to follow up with them next, and like current customers, and like what they talked about, and she's like really detailed in there. But it is a fantastic, again, you guys will find your own ways. The key is to find a way to be organized and staying organized. I've definitely rotated between organizational things. When I first started, I used to just write down everyone's names and then like what I talked to them about. So I just had one ginormous follow-up list. I didn't know what day I talked to them on. I didn't know when I talked to them last. Didn't know where they came from. So having a planner now on each day is a lot simpler. So I definitely don't recommend just doing a whole list. That was like not super efficient. But yeah, you guys will find what works best for you. Definitely reach out to your enroller, reach out to any of us, myself, Crystal, Jess, Dana, anyone on your team, and we will also be able to help you, give you any tips that we might have, what works for us, what we've heard has worked for other people, and we will get you there. So thanks everyone for hopping on tonight. If we have no questions, then we will call it there. And I hope everyone has a great evening and kills January. Bye.
Bye.